Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got to look at a new Tier 2 Goofballer. Loose on the town, it's something called the Enseigne Gabolde French destroyer. Note there, you got a choice between your prop mod, steering gears. I would usually put prop mod on pretty much all destroyers. I don't think the British necessarily need it, and I don't think they have the option. But other than that, it's a good idea. It helps you dodge torps if you get into close quarter combat. We got a Bueno. A lot of you guys have typically used Oboino throughout the French destroyer line, which isn't bad. It's more of a destroyer focused stealth build, which is good, but I've always preferred Violet personally. The income and dispersion helps, and the improved performance with the guns, not bad as well. What's this Gabolde here? Well, it's very fast. I think the listed top speed 33 knots, and we'll see it with the speed boost. You get a couple of those per match. Gets up quite quick in the water, high 30s, think 8.3 range on the torpedoes, 80 knots in the water, blistering fast for tier 2. Now you only get 4 per launch. Quick reload though, I think it's just about 30 seconds, 35, something around that range. So you can get a lot of torpedoes in the water. We're going to see this thing in action here. Note the firing angles. You can see in the diagram there's the full salvo achievable at that angle forward, but keep an eye on it once we get if you're trying to fight rearward, if you're trying to kite away from the enemy, or sideways, that front gun gets blocked pretty easily. So you actually have preferable firing angles moving into the enemy, which is kind of interesting. A lot of ships are designed the opposite way, but you do need to keep that in mind. Your firepower effectively is cut down by 33% when moving away from the enemy. So moving into sea here, we got over here pretty quickly, and we proceed to capture the base. And you can note the reload there. We're already throw the torps in there. Why not? By the time we're going to need them again, they'll be up and running. V-170 coming in here. German destroyer. Very hard to hit, little squat little thing. We're going to go ahead and take some shots. Good fire from the team from behind us to support there. And that's what you want with these destroyer v destroyer fights. We want to be, number one, engaging them ourselves, but number two, making it 2v1, 3v1. Hopefully our team's going to be chiming in. Now, as random players, as a lot of you guys are, or solo players, I should say, as a lot of you guys are, and myself is usually, you can lead a horse to water, but whether they're going to drink from it or not, that's to be determined in all instances. Clemson, now this thing's dangerous. One of the first games I played in this thing, ended up sinking the Clemson, but I got him with a random torp rather than the gunfight. And note, we're nearly a broadside here as we angle back here. We might see that front gun blocked here. Trying to handle both of these guys, trying to move back, block the line of sight. We got the V-170 that was potentially spotting us, but now that the Clemson loses sight of us, he decides, okay, I got to get out of there. So we're using the enemy's smoke to our own advantage as well. You got to be looking for opportunities to block the line of sight with whatever's available. Base remains contested, so we're going to try and put a little bit of pressure here. Number one, if we get closer to the Clemson, a little bit easier to hit him, support our team. Number two, though, we want to find this V-170, get him off the board, and get this cap under control as quick as possible. You can see Red's having a lot of success down in the southeast part of the map, and in fact, they've killed a third of our team. Oh boy, in 3 minutes, not a good start there. So we got some work to do in this game if we want to have any chance to win. Getting some more shots in the Clemson, watching the twist and track. Of course, you can improve the torpedo performance in slot 3 with Oboino if you choose to use him, but I would always recommend as a destroyer, and look at these blocked firing angles here, that's what we're talking about. But as the destroyer commander, I typically want to see that twist and track, and you can always get that with a slot 3 perk, whether the actual twist and track or whatever the new one's called. So here we go, we're trying to whittle him down, once again having some issues getting this front gun on, but boom, down he goes there. Take him off the board. Now we're going to throw some torps into that smoke. We are blocked by the line of sight again, so we are free to attempt to capture this base. And we're going to see here, okay, he's shooting. Well, that gives us a little bit of perspective. Didn't notice, though, the deny is squeaking through here, so that's a bit of a problem. Unlike Violet, who has a quicker cooldown on the guns, the detectability when firing the guns, maxed, you would get it down to 15 seconds. Here with the Bueno, we got, oh boy, we got the Clemson there sitting in the smoke, but we got an extra 5 seconds. Okay, for 20 seconds, so got to be careful of that, but the deny is moving north. I don't know if he's hunting the carrier or what he's doing, but we're looking okay. We only got a few seconds left to capture the base. We can probably dodge some of these shots from the high floaty shells coming to Danae. So we'll chime in, try and help him get off the board as quick as possible. Seal up the side. Yeah, there's an Ishizuki down directly south of B, but he's about 5 squares south of B, so he's not really pressuring the base whatsoever. So down goes the Danae here. We will evaluate him. We'll take a look at him here when we get a second, but we're looking at all these torps too. Are these destroyer torps? Are they Danae torps? We got to be kind of evaluating which direction they're coming from, how many there are, etc. You got to be trying to figure out, okay, because the destroyers haven't been spotted for a while. We are capturing A, which is great. We want to capture one flank and the middle, then hold the middle. And this is going to be kind of an inflection point in terms of decision making. There's the destroyer pop up on the map there. And then we got another one moving into A. So I think 98 out of 100 times you're probably going to want to help support A here. But I'm thinking, okay, well, we got a tight game here. They are up in ships. The destroyer in the east that's sighted, he's probably thinking about going to the carrier. If anyone's going to defend him, it's going to be me. You can see the carrier's backed himself way into the corner. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's probably the play we're going to want to make, especially since it's looking like the defense of A was successful. The destroyer is moving through A, though. He's got moon eyes. He's looking for the carry. He's thinking, all right, I can sink that guy, which is an admirable sentiment, but usually it's not the right play. You know, the carriers are annoying. They can be powerful if played properly, but usually they're not going to be the high priority targets. So, you know, this is kind of a sticky situation. The guys on C, I assume they're attempting to engage the Ishizuki long range, but that guy he's not even in position to move forward at this point in time. He's not threatening any bases. He's not really serving any strategic purpose. So trying to get some shots over here. Here's another one of the Gaboldes. A few people trying him out in this match. And we're going to try and lob some shots over here. We want to get this done as quick as possible because we do need to get back to A. You can see on the map there, the destroyer to the south of us, suicide rushing. We also have another destroyer on the red team now moving into A. So that's really pressuring this, and it's going to make us want to finish this up as quick as possible. We outspot him there. Go ahead and fire our guns. We're probably going to be spotted anyways. Our detection on this build, 4.7. That's with the Max Bay and the Bueno slot 2. I think it's the lesser of the two detection perks, if I remember, but I'd have to go back and take a look at the footage. Destroyer does get the carrier. Okay, good. That is, if it happens, it's good, right? It's going to eliminate one avenue of spotting and one avenue of harassment. But we need those guys in the west. I mean, they're continuing to chase the Ishizuki, who now cannot cover anything. Okay, at this point in time in the match, he's completely worthless. They need to be making a beeline into B, try and kill those destroyers point blank range. We're shooting at this guy. I'm not sure, it's a couple of these shots I was like, oh, maybe he's running Vine. He's got some dispersion on here. But I think a lot of the times I'm just, I thought he was moving slightly away from us. As the sequence goes, we'll see we miss a few shots long, and then as I confirmed on the map, okay, we were shooting just a little bit over him. He's actually moving into us. So you always want to be, when we're fighting ships, check the map. Is he going broadside to us? Is he going away, going forward? That'll help with the understanding here. He's slowing down here, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe if we can knock that engine, we'll get that destroyer off at the torps. He recognizes the torps coming in, just dodges them in the last second. And now the race is on. He's within suicide striking distance of the carrier. Mission accomplished from his perspective. But we'd like to get him off. For sure, we got to kill him, right? Because if he somehow escapes here, then he's going to prevent us from turning our attention to B, which is strategically far more important than what we're doing at this point in time. This engagement's taking a little bit too long. Here's the high shots that we're talking about. And again, I can't really angle away from this guy, kite away from him, even begin to move towards B, because we're not going to be getting our full salvos off. So finally we check the map there. We recognize, okay, he's moving a little bit different than we were expecting just from the game screen, but we desperately need him down. I think you saw him turn just a second ago, turn a little bit. Torps are expected to be in the water, so the carrier's probably dead. Now my options are somehow turn around and go back towards C and then into B, which is going to take a little while in terms of maneuverability, or we move over here. And I was thinking, okay, there's probably the battleship over here. We're moving into him. We're about to be sighted anyways, so I'm thinking, all right, suicide rush. We got 2/3 of our health. Secondaries are present on these ships, but they're not as onerous as the secondaries you're going to typically find on larger or higher tier ships, I should say. And the Orion angles in and hit on there with a devastating strike on him. And we only have to trade about, I don't know, 10, 15, 20% of our health at the most. So decent play, twist and track over here. I'm thinking, well, should I launch some torps to my right, trying to slow down the pursuit? There's no carrier over here. So logically, he's not rushing the carrier in the back line. He's probably trying to come around here and get me. A stronger play, or a more reliable play, I would say, would just be go capture C, especially if you're in a really quick destroyer like he is. He's in another Gabolde like we are. Ishizuki's now on B. You can see our team's struggling to get shot off. It looks like those guys probably haven't fired for the last 5 minutes plus, which is an extreme problem here. So we're in full carry mode here. Options, do we turn around and fight this guy? He's got twice as much health as us. And he's once again moving into us with advantageous gun positions. We're moving away from him with disadvantageous. So we could turn around, flip the guns to the left side of the boat. This is all going to take a little while. We're going to take some damage. Or I'm thinking, okay, these guys might be afraid of the battleship. And by the way, we need to get B. We need to stop the bleeding because we're in trouble here. They've been now scoring 2 points to our 1 in the background for a while. So the Suicide Rush Part 2 is on. Moving into the Ishizuki here, looks like he was letting his crew off on the beach for some reason, even though he's mostly full of health. But perhaps he sensed some danger, or the navigator was asleep at the wheel. Who knows? But we're moving into him. He is spotting us. Now we can potentially slam on the brakes here. We don't want these secondaries activating and hitting us. But the Gabolde from the rear is chiming in with the guns. He's doing a good job pursuing us, keeping the pressure on. So we got one more shot here. We get it off. He's once again hitched the beach, so we just aim to the back of the ship. He responds in kind, though, and blasts us into oblivion. So that's going to be the end of the run here. We do add the Kraken to a pretty high damage score game. We get the second highest score in this game, just about 100 points below the top score on the winning team. But at this point in time, the destroyer who is pursuing me, he seems like he knows what he's been doing. It doesn't seem like a new player, so he's not necessarily going to be inclined to rush these guys, try and gun them down, or do something stupid. They got 2 bases. All he's got to do is stay alive. These guys need to be getting on the bases. Now, this Svetlana is electing to go towards C. At this point in time, it's about as much time to get to B as that, but previously it would have been a lot easier to get into A, I guess it is on the map there. C's in the northeast, whatever. If you guys are paying attention to what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, even though I can't read the caps due to the small replay when we're doing these replays. But anyways, Svetlana will get torped, and the Wyoming eats at least 1 torp salvo as well. So we'll probably cut it there, but Gabolde, whatever it is, pretty fun. It's not bad for a tier 2. It'll probably make its way into the rotation on the Sunday Pick a Premium lineup when we do those tier 2 ships to get promotion orders. And it's a pretty fun ship overall. Just kind of focus on gun angles, getting the torps off on reload and using the speed to capture and control bases. You should have some success. So that's going to do it for that one, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, hey, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.